Ladies and gentlemen, confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you create. It is a muscle that strengthens every time you take action, every time you step up despite fear, every time you refuse to back down. It is not given, it is earned. And the moment you understand that, you unlock a power most will never tap into. The fastest way to build confidence is through action. You cannot think your way into being confident. You cannot wait until you feel ready. The truth is, you will never feel fully ready, but the second you take action, your brain rewires. You begin to see yourself as someone who moves, who does, who creates. And from that, confidence is born. Fear and doubt are always there, whispering in the back of your mind. They tell you to play it safe, to shrink, to wait for a better time. But confidence is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward in spite of it. And the question is, will you listen to the voice of fear or the voice of possibility? Your beliefs shape your confidence. If you tell yourself you are not enough, that you cannot succeed, that you will fail, guess what? You will. But the second you decide that you are capable, that you are powerful, that you are worthy, your world shifts. What if you have been underestimating yourself this entire time? The past does not define you. Whatever mistakes, failures, or setbacks you have experienced do not determine your future. Confidence is built in the present moment with the choices you make today. Right now, you have the power to rewrite your story. But will you? Your body is a reflection of your mindset. Stand tall, breathe deeply, move with energy. Your physiology affects your psychology. If you want to feel powerful, move powerfully. Imagine stepping into a room with certainty, with presence, with fire in your eyes. How would that change the way people respond to you? Success leaves clues. The most confident people in the world were not born that way. They built it. They learned the patterns, the strategies, the habits. And if they did it, so can you. The only difference between them and you is a decision. Are you ready to make it? Every time you hesitate, you lose momentum. Confidence comes from decisiveness, from trusting yourself enough to act. The moment you pause, doubt creeps in. What if, from this day forward, you made a habit of making bold decisions without hesitation? Most people wait for permission to be great. They wait for someone to validate them, to tell them they are good enough, to give them the green light. But confidence does not come from waiting. It comes from deciding that you are already enough. What if you stopped waiting and started leading? Your inner dialogue determines your destiny. What do you say to yourself when no one is listening? Do you build yourself up or tear yourself down? Every word you speak shapes your identity. If you told yourself every day that you are unstoppable, how long before you start believing it? Failure is not the opposite of confidence. It is the foundation of it. The most successful people have failed more times than most ever try. They do not see failure as defeat. They see it as feedback. They learn, adapt, and come back stronger. What if you started embracing failure instead of fearing it? Your environment shapes your confidence. The people you spend time with either lift you up or pull you down. If you surround yourself with doubters, critics, and naysayers, you will shrink. But if you surround yourself with winners, believers, and people who push you, you will rise. Who is in your circle? Repetition creates mastery. Confidence is not something you feel. It is something you practice. Speak with confidence. Move with confidence, act with confidence, even before you feel it. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. What if you started practicing confidence right now? Excuses are the enemy of confidence. Every time you justify an action, you weaken your belief in yourself, cut off the option of retreat, burn the boats. When you eliminate excuses and commit fully, you access a level of power most never experience. What excuses have been holding you back? The greatest breakthroughs happen outside of your comfort zone. Most people never reach their potential because they refuse to get uncomfortable. But confidence is forged in discomfort. Growth only happens when you stretch yourself beyond what feels safe. What if everything you want is on the other side of what you fear? Your voice has power. When you speak with certainty, people listen. When you hesitate, they doubt you. Confidence is not just in what you say, it is in how you say it. What if, from now on, you spoke as if you already owned the room? The fastest way to build confidence is through momentum. The more you move forward, the stronger you become. Doubt only grows in stagnation, but when you take consistent action, self-doubt fades. The question is, what small step can you take right now? Most people spend their lives trying to avoid rejection, but the most confident people embrace it. They understand that rejection is not a reflection of their worth. It is just part of the game. They do not take it personally. They move forward. What if you stopped fearing rejection and started welcoming it? Passion fuels confidence. When you are deeply connected to a purpose bigger than yourself, self-doubt fades. You do not have time to question yourself because you are too busy making an impact. What if you found something so meaningful that fear no longer mattered? Your identity determines your confidence. Who do you believe you are? If you see yourself as weak, incapable, or unworthy, you will act accordingly. But the second you decide that you are strong, capable, and unstoppable, everything changes. The question is, who will you choose to become? Most people never push past their limits. They stop when it gets hard, when they feel doubt, when things do not go their way. But the ones who build unshakable confidence are the ones who keep going. The ones who refuse to quit. How much further could you go if you refuse to stop? At the end of the day, confidence is not about being fearless, perfect, or never having doubts. It is about showing up anyway. It is about choosing courage over comfort, action over hesitation, and growth over stagnation. You already have everything within you to become unstoppable. The only question left is, what are you going to do about it? And that's the real question, isn't it? Will you step up, take control, and build the kind of confidence that makes you unstoppable? Or will you let fear, excuses, and doubt keep you where you are? The choice is yours, but deep down, you already know what you must do. Because this moment, this is where everything changes. The second you decide to take ownership of your confidence, your entire life shifts. And when you look back on today, will you remember it as the day you finally stepped into your power? Or the day you let hesitation win? Your confidence is like a fire. If you don't fuel it, it fades. Every time you step forward, take action, and prove to yourself that you can, that fire grows stronger. But if you hesitate, if you hold back, it weakens. The question is, are you feeding your fire or letting it burn out? There will always be moments of doubt, but confidence is built in how you respond to them. Will you let doubt stop you, or will you use it as fuel to push forward? The ones who build unshakable confidence are the ones who refuse to let doubt define them. Which one will you be? You don't need all the answers to be confident. You don't need to be perfect. Confidence comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. If you trust yourself to adapt, to learn, and to keep moving forward, nothing can shake you. What if you truly believe that? Most people think they need confidence before they take action, but it's the other way around. Action creates confidence. Every time you do something new, every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you prove to yourself that you are capable. What's one thing you can do right now to prove that to yourself? Stop comparing yourself to others. Confidence isn't built by measuring yourself against someone else's journey. It's built by focusing on your own progress, your own growth, your own evolution. The only person you need to compete with is the version of yourself from yesterday. How much better can you become? Rejection doesn't define you. Most people fear it so much that they never take the risks necessary to grow. But what if rejection was just redirection? What if every no was guiding you towards something even greater? Would you still be afraid, or would you go after everything you want with even more confidence? There is no such thing as overnight confidence. The people you admire, the ones who radiate certainty, have spent years conditioning their mindset, practicing their skills, and taking risks. The good news? You can do the same. The question is, are you willing to do the work? Your standards determine your confidence. If you accept mediocrity in your life, in your habits, in your mindset, your confidence will reflect that. But if you demand more from yourself, if you raise your standards, your confidence will rise to meet them. What are you willing to accept? No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you confidence on a silver platter. It is something you must build for yourself, brick by brick, decision by decision, action by action. Are you ready to take responsibility for it? Stop waiting for the right time. There is no perfect moment. Confidence is built in the now, in the decisions you make today. If you keep waiting, if you keep delaying, you will wake up one day wondering why you never became who you were meant to be. Will today be the day you change that? You already have everything you need to be confident. It's not something outside of you. It's not something you have to find. It's something you must activate within yourself. The question is, what will it take for you to finally unleash it? Your biggest breakthroughs will come on the other side of fear. Confidence is not avoiding fear. It is facing it head on. The more you do what scares you, the more fearless you become. What if fear was the very thing guiding you to your next level? Pain and struggle are part of the journey. The strongest, most confident people have all experienced setbacks, failures, and hardships. What separates them is how they respond. Do they let pain break them, or do they use it to become stronger? What will you do? Your words shape your confidence. What you say about yourself, whether out loud or in your mind, becomes your reality. If you keep saying you're not good enough, that will be your truth. But what if you started declaring something different? What if you started telling yourself, I am unstoppable? Most people live in a cage of their own making. A cage built from fear, self-doubt, and hesitation. But the key to breaking free has always been in their hands. The question is, are you willing to use it? Every time you break a promise to yourself, your confidence weakens. Every time you say you'll do something and don't follow through, you reinforce the belief that you can't trust yourself. But the good news is you can rebuild that trust. Will you start today? Your past failures don't define your future success. Confidence is not about never failing. It's about refusing to stay down. Every time you get back up, every time you learn, every time you keep going, you build a level of resilience most people will never have. How much stronger could you be if you never let failure stop you? The secret to confidence? Keep showing up. Keep pushing forward. Keep taking action, even when it's uncomfortable. Over time, you will realize that confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you create. Well, you create it. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. Confidence isn't built in a single moment. It's built in the consistent effort, the small steps, the daily decisions. 1 year from now, will you be looking back in awe at how far you've come? If you don't take control of your mind, the world will do it for you. Every day, you are either programming yourself for confidence or allowing outside influences to program you for doubt. Which one are you choosing? Your presence has power. When you walk into a room with confidence, people feel it. When you own your space, when you stand tall, when you speak with conviction, the world takes notice. The question is, are you ready to own your power? Most people let fear of judgment keep them small. But the truth is, people will judge you no matter what. So why not be judged for going after what you truly want? Why not be judged for being bold, for being fearless, for being unapologetically you? Your legacy will not be built on hesitation. It will not be built on playing small, on holding back, on waiting for permission. It will be built on courage, on taking risks, on stepping up, even when it's uncomfortable. What kind of legacy will you leave? Your mind is the battlefield. Every day you are either winning or losing the war against doubt. The question is, are you going to fight for your confidence, or are you going to surrender to fear? The world does not reward potential, it rewards action. You can have all the talent, all the intelligence, all the ability in the world, but if you don't act on it, it means nothing. What if today was the day you finally took action? The time will pass anyway. 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you will look back at this moment. Will you regret not taking the leap, or will you be grateful that you did? Confidence is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing that you can handle anything. No matter what life throws at you, no matter what obstacles come your way, you have the strength to rise. The only question is, will you step up and claim that strength? Everything you've been searching for, every breakthrough, every moment of power, every ounce of confidence, it's already inside you. It's been there all along. And now at this moment, it's time to unleash it. Because in the end, confidence is a choice to trust yourself, a choice to take action, a choice to step into the person you were always meant to be. And that choice is yours to make right now. Confidence is not built in a day, but in the daily choices you make. Every moment you have a decision to shrink or to rise, to hesitate or to move forward, to let fear win or to take control. Which choice will you make today? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck, talent, or circumstances. It's belief. Those who build unstoppable confidence have conditioned themselves to believe they are capable even when they don't feel like it. What if you decided to believe in yourself no matter what? Doubt is a liar. It will tell you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that you'll fail, but doubt is just a voice. It has no real power unless you give it power. What if you stopped listening to the voice of doubt and started listening to the voice of possibility? Your confidence is built in the moments no one is watching. It's built in the hours you spend training, learning, growing. It's built in the times you push yourself when you could have quit. What if you showed up for yourself every single day, even when no one was there to applaud you? People who lack confidence wait for the perfect plan, the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment. But the truth is, confidence comes from jumping in before you feel ready. What if you stopped waiting and just started? The way you carry yourself determines how the world sees you. Shoulders back, chin up, eyes forward, walk like someone who owns their life. Move like someone who refuses to shrink. The world responds to confidence. How will you show up? Your mind is always listening. The words you tell yourself become the foundation of your confidence. If you say, I'm not good enough, your mind will believe it. If you say, I am unstoppable, your mind will believe that too. What if you started speaking to yourself like the person you want to become? Most people let fear dictate their lives. They avoid risks, they stay small, they play it safe. But confidence is built by doing the exact opposite, by taking bold action, by stepping into discomfort, by proving to yourself that you can handle anything. What if you made fear your guide instead of your enemy? The secret to confidence isn't knowing all the answers, it's knowing you can handle whatever happens. Life is unpredictable. There will be challenges, there will be setbacks. But if you trust yourself to figure it out, nothing can shake you. What if you fully embrace that truth? Stop waiting for permission. Most people spend their lives hoping someone will tell them they're good enough, that they're ready, that they have what it takes. But the most confident people don't wait, they decide. What if you finally decided to give yourself permission to step into your greatness? Confidence is not arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. It's about standing in your power without needing validation. What if you stopped seeking approval and started owning your worth? Your comfort zone is a prison. It keeps you safe, but it also keeps you small. Confidence is built outside of that zone. When you do the things that scare you, when you challenge yourself, when you stretch beyond what you think is possible. What if you made a habit of stepping outside your comfort zone every single day? You cannot build confidence without failure. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than they can count. They did not let failure stop them. They used it as fuel to become stronger. What if you saw failure not as an end, but as the beginning of something greater? Most people quit when things get hard. They back down when they face resistance. But confidence is built by those who push through, by those who refuse to give up, by those who keep going when others stop. How much further could you go if you decided to never quit? Your emotions do not control you. Confidence is built when you learn to act despite fear, despite anxiety, despite uncertainty. The ones who win in life are not the ones who feel the most ready. They are the ones who take action anyway. What if you stopped letting emotions dictate your destiny? You have overcome things that would have broken other people. You have survived setbacks, challenges, moments of doubt, and yet you are still here, still standing, still pushing forward. What does that tell you about your strength? Most people spend their lives avoiding pain, but pain is where growth happens. Confidence is built in the hard moments, in the struggles, in the times you feel like giving up, but keep going anyway. What if you stopped avoiding discomfort and started embracing it? Your identity is everything. If you see yourself as weak, incapable, or unworthy, you will act accordingly. But if you decide that you are strong, confident, and unstoppable, your actions will follow. Who do you choose to be? Excuses are the enemy of confidence. Every time you justify inaction, every time you tell yourself a story about why you can't, you reinforce doubt. But the moment you cut off excuses and commit fully, confidence becomes inevitable. What excuses do you need to let go of today? Success leaves clues. The most confident people in the world have habits, routines, and mindsets that they have cultivated over time. They have studied, learned, and taken massive action. If they can do it, why not you? Energy is everything. Confidence is not just a mindset, it's a state. The way you move, the way you breathe, the way you show up affects how you feel. What if you started carrying yourself like someone who already has unstoppable confidence? There is no magic formula for confidence. It's built through repetition, through small daily wins, through consistently proving to yourself that you are capable. The question is, will you put in the reps? You have two choices: to live a life dictated by fear, hesitation, and self-doubt, or to take control, step up, and build the kind of confidence that makes you unstoppable. The choice is yours, but deep down, you already know what you must do. The world is waiting for you to step up, to own your power, to stop playing small. The only question is, are you ready? Because once you commit to this journey, once you decide that you will no longer live in hesitation, nothing will ever be the same again. This is the moment you choose confidence over fear, the moment you decide that you are done waiting, done doubting, done holding back, the moment you take control of your life once and for all. And years from now, when you look back on this day, will you remember it as the moment you finally stepped into your power, or will you remember it as just another day you let pass by? Confidence is not a gift, it's a skill, and like any skill, it must be developed, practiced, and strengthened every single day. The real question is, are you willing to put in the work? The mind is like a muscle. If you train it for fear and hesitation, that's what it will default to. But if you train it for certainty, action, and resilience, nothing will be able to shake you. Which one are you training for? Your past does not define your confidence. What happened before, your failures, your mistakes, your missed opportunities, none of it determines who you are today. What matters is what you choose to do next. Will you let the past hold you back, or will you rewrite your future? People think confidence comes from success, but it actually comes from setbacks. It's built in the moments when everything seems to be going against you, but you refuse to back down. What if every challenge you've ever faced was actually preparing you for something greater? Stop waiting for certainty. There will never be a perfect time, a perfect situation, or a perfect path. The people who win in life are the ones who take action despite the uncertainty. What if you started living like that? Every time you break through fear, your confidence multiplies. Fear is not a stop sign, it's a signal that you are stepping into your next level. So instead of avoiding fear, what if you started running toward it? Think about a time when you doubted yourself, but you did it anyway. A time when you pushed past fear, when you proved yourself wrong. That moment, that's proof of what you are capable of. Imagine what else you could do if you kept proving yourself wrong. People will tell you to be realistic, but realism is often just another word for limitation. Every person who has achieved something great started by rejecting the limits that others accepted. What if you decided to stop being realistic and started being relentless? Repetition is the mother of confidence. You don't become unstoppable by doing something once. You become unstoppable by doing it again and again until there's no doubt left in your mind that you own it. What skill, habit, or mindset do you need to repeat until it becomes second nature? You will never feel 100% ready. If you wait for that moment, you will wait forever. Confidence is built in motion, not in hesitation. What if you decided that today, ready or not, you were going to take that first step? Your confidence is a reflection of your standards. If you tolerate weakness in yourself, if you accept excuses, if you allow yourself to play small, your confidence will mirror that. But if you demand more, if you raise your standards, your confidence will rise to meet them. How high are your standards? Most people don't lack confidence, they lack momentum. They overthink, hesitate, and get stuck in analysis paralysis. But confidence is built through action, through movement, through doing. What if you stopped thinking and just started? Your fears are not real. They are projections, stories your mind has created. They only have power if you believe them. But what if you stopped believing in fear and started believing in yourself? Think of the most confident person you know. What do they do differently? How do they carry themselves? How do they speak? How do they act? Now, what if you started modeling that same behavior until it became natural to you? Confidence is contagious. When you step into your power, when you own your presence, others feel it. You inspire people, you lift the energy in the room, you set a new standard. What if your confidence wasn't just for you, but for the people around you? You will never regret betting on yourself. The risks you take, the challenges you embrace, the discomfort you push through, All of it will lead to a version of you that is stronger, bolder, and more unstoppable than ever before. What if you decided that you are always worth the bet? Every time you choose courage over fear, you shift your identity. You go from someone who hesitates to someone who takes action, from someone who doubts to someone who believes. What identity are you choosing to step into today? Failure is not the opposite of confidence. It is part of the process. The more you fail, the more you learn. The more you learn, the stronger you become. What if you saw failure not as something to avoid, but as something to embrace? Confidence is not about having all the answers. It's about trusting yourself to find them. Life will throw challenges your way, but if you believe in your ability to adapt, no obstacle can stop you. What if you started trusting yourself fully? Most people live in reaction mode. They let circumstances dictate their confidence, their energy, their belief in themselves. But true confidence comes from within. It's a choice, not a reaction. What if you stopped reacting and started creating? The words you use shape your confidence. If you tell yourself, I can't, your brain will find reasons why you can't. But if you tell yourself, I will, your brain will find a way. What words are you choosing to define your reality? Doubt is just a habit. It's not who you are. It's just a pattern you've repeated over time. And like any habit, it can be broken. What if you started breaking the habit of doubt today? Confidence is not given. It is earned. It is earned through action, through persistence, through pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Are you willing to earn it? Stop focusing on what could go wrong. Start focusing on what could go right. Most people talk themselves out of success before they even try. But what if, for once, you assumed that everything would work out in your favor? People are watching you. They are looking to see how you show up, how you handle challenges, how you carry yourself. What if your confidence was the thing that inspired them to believe in themselves too? Your biggest breakthroughs are waiting on the other side of fear. Every time you face what scares you, you unlock a new level of strength, of certainty, of power. What if you decided that fear was not your enemy, but your greatest teacher? The reason most people lack confidence is simple. They haven't conditioned it. Confidence is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it weakens. But if you train it daily, it becomes unstoppable. What if you started training it like an athlete trains for their sport? Stop asking for permission. The most confident people don't wait for approval. They step forward and claim their space. What if you stopped waiting for someone to tell you that you're good enough and decided to tell yourself? You already have everything you need to be confident. It's not something you have to find. It's something you have to unleash. The only question is, are you ready to let it out? Because once you do, once you fully commit, once you decide that you will no longer live in fear or hesitation, everything changes. The way you speak, the way you move, the way you show up, it all shifts. You become someone people notice, someone people respect, someone people look to for strength. And the best part, you won't need validation. You won't need approval, because you will know deep in your core that you are exactly who you were always meant to be. This is your moment. The moment you stop doubting and start believing, the moment you stop waiting and start acting, the moment you stop living small and start owning your power. Because once you take this step, once you decide that you are done playing it safe, there is no going back. Your future is waiting. Your confidence is waiting. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting. The only question left is, will you step up and claim it? Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you create. Every action you take in the direction of your goals builds it. Every step forward strengthens it. So what if, starting today, you made the decision to create it instead of waiting for it? The world does not reward those who hesitate. It rewards those who step forward, who take risks, who move despite their fears. Confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting yourself to figure it out along the way. Will you trust yourself enough to take the leap? Doubt will always whisper in your ear, trying to convince you that you're not ready, that you're not enough. But here's the truth. Doubt is just noise. It's a false alarm. And the moment you stop giving it power, it fades. What would happen if you ignored it completely? Most people underestimate themselves. They settle, they shrink, they hold back. But there is something inside you, something powerful, something unstoppable. just waiting to be unleashed. The only thing standing in its way is you. Your past failures don't define you. They don't dictate your future. The only thing that matters is what you do now. Will you use those failures as proof that you should stop, or will you use them as fuel to rise even stronger? You were not born to be average. You were not created to blend in, to hesitate, to play small. There is something inside you that is meant to stand out, to lead, to inspire. What if you finally let that version of you take control? There is no shortcut to confidence. There is no hack, no magic formula. The only way to build it is to earn it through repetition, through effort, through pushing beyond what feels comfortable. Will you put in the work? Fear is nothing more than an illusion, a mental projection of something that hasn't even happened yet. The only way to destroy it is through action. What if you decide to take action no matter how afraid you feel? You don't need external validation to be confident. Confidence is not built on compliments or applause. It's built on the quiet moments when you prove to yourself that you are capable. Are you willing to validate yourself instead of waiting for the world to do it? The mind loves to focus on what's missing, what's wrong, what could go wrong. But confidence comes from shifting your focus to what's possible, to what's within your control, to the strengths you already have. What if you started seeing what was right instead of what was lacking? Your body language speaks before you even open your mouth. Stand tall, shoulders back, head high, move like someone who owns their space, who commands attention, who believes in themselves. How would you carry yourself if you were already unstoppable? You are always training your mind. Whether you realize it or not, every time you hesitate, you train it for doubt. Every time you step forward, you train it for confidence. What are you training for today? The people who seem the most confident, they weren't born that way. They built it. They trained for it. They conditioned themselves to believe, to act, to own their presence. If they did it, why not you? Every small victory builds confidence. Every time you follow through, every time you push past resistance, every time you take action, you reinforce the belief that you are capable. What small win can you create today? Most people overestimate what others think of them. They let the fear of judgment hold them back, keep them small. But here's the truth. No one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. What if you stopped worrying about them and started focusing on your own path? No one will hand you confidence. No one will give it to you. You have to take it. You have to own it. You have to decide that you are worthy, that you are enough, that you are capable. What if you made that decision right now? Pain is temporary, but regret lasts forever. The discomfort of stepping up, of taking action, of facing your fears, it will pass, but the regret of not doing it, that stays with you. Which one will you choose? You don't need more time. You don't need more preparation. You don't need more reassurance. Everything you need is already inside you. The only thing missing is your decision to step into it. Most people will never build true confidence because they're too afraid to fail. But failure is not the enemy, it's the teacher. It's the proof that you are growing, that you are pushing beyond your limits. What if you started seeing failure as progress instead of defeat? Your words shape your reality. Every time you say, I'm not confident, you reinforce that belief. But every time you say, I am learning to be unstoppable, you train your brain to believe it. What words are you choosing to speak into existence? The version of you that has everything you want, the success, the influence, the power, already exists. The only thing standing between you and that version of yourself is action. What if you stopped waiting and started becoming? Every challenge, every obstacle, every setback, it's all shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for something greater. What if everything you've been through was just the training ground for the person you are meant to be? You've been playing at a fraction of your potential. You've been holding back, playing it safe, letting fear dictate your choices, but deep down, you know there's more in you. What if today was the day you finally unleashed it? Comfort is the enemy of confidence. The more you stay in your comfort zone, the weaker your belief in yourself becomes. But the more you stretch, the more you grow, the more unstoppable you become. Where do you need to stretch? You have nothing to lose by betting on yourself, but everything to lose by holding back. The worst that can happen, you learn, you grow, you get stronger. The best that can happen, You unlock a level of confidence you never knew existed. Which one sounds better? You are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to hesitation, fear, regret. The other leads to courage, action, and unstoppable confidence. Which one will you take? Because once you take that first step, once you make the decision that you will no longer live in hesitation, there is no going back. The way you speak, the way you move, the way you think, it all changes. You become someone people notice, someone people respect, someone who commands attention. And the best part, you won't have to fake it. You won't have to force it, because deep down, you will know you are exactly who you are always meant to be. This is your moment. The moment you stop doubting and start believing. The moment you stop waiting and start acting. The moment you stop living small and start owning your power. Because once you take this step, once you decide that you are done playing it safe, everything in your life will begin to change. Your future is waiting. Your confidence is waiting. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting. The only question left is, will you step up and claim it?